Hey, you wonderful people. Welcome to the PCP, the Pixel Clicks podcast. I'm Jordan, and today's shirt is brought to you by TFury.com, who we are not sponsored by. One day, maybe one day. Podcast listeners, go to twitter.com/PixelClicksPod to see today's shirt. Anyway, I am not alone. As always, there's people around me. So let's start with you first, the ambassador of the PC Master Race, Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody, and I got a haircut.
Yes, you did, good sir, and it looks good.
Thank you. It feels good. I feel beautiful.
You look beautiful.
I could have mistaken you from an inmate.
That's what I was going for.
That
And
that went downhill pretty fast. You're beautiful. You're an inmate. I don't know.
It really did. Speaking of inmates, I could go either way with this one, guys.
You know which one to do.
The man born of blood, Shane, is here.
I am here, and I have a shirt brought to you by Redbubble. Praise the sun, everybody.
That is a good shirt right there.
We are not sponsored by
Not sponsored
that
by-
either.
No,
And of
but
course,
Solaire would be my sponsor if he could be.
the director and improv comedian Sergio is here.
Estamos en la silla de oro.
That means he is on the floor of gold.
Close.
Damn it.
Chair of gold.
Chair of gold.
I wanted to say something weird, but then I realized chair came out of my mouth first.
But yes, so yes, we're all here as always. We are not having technical difficulties this time, which is great.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. What's been happening in the wonderful world of video games? What do we have, guys?
Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 10, whatever you want to call it, is finally out on all platforms. Well, not Nintendo, but anyway.
Hey, they don't count.
No.
Nintendo don't get nothing. Nothing.
Nintendo. They don't.
Nintendo. More like
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
They
Oh.
won't go for that. No can do.
I don't know what's happening. Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat X is released, and it's generally been getting praised by a lot of people. A lot of people are playing it. A lot of people are loving it. I have a bunch of friends who have the game, and they are in love with that game, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. It looks really good. Like I looked into like the plot summary of the story for the game, and it's just as great as Mortal Kombat 9's story was, which is fantastic. Have you guys ever played any Mortal Kombat game ever?
I played the hell out of Deception. I played that a lot.
Okay.
Not the best, but I played the hell out of it.
Not even close to the best.
Not even close, but that was the one that I had.
Yeah.
So there's no other thing besides it. I played a lot out of Mortal Kombat 3.
Of course. That's an essential game.
I played a lot of 2. I don't really think I have that much time with 1. But what else? I didn't play any of the other ones besides Deception, because it's like, because after 3 I was like, I might as well come back, and Deception was fine, but that was the only fighting game I had, so I just played the hell out of it, and this game looks really gross, in the best way, though, in the best way,
In the way Mortal Kombat should be.
So I'm not too familiar with many of the newer guys, and when I say newer guys, I mean people after Mortal Kombat 3. So the guy who's blind and has the thing around his head,
Kenshi.
All right. I saw this one fatality, or it may have been a brutality, where he levitates you. He floats. Fatality. All right.
Yeah.
And then he takes your intestines out through your mouth. And then they just come out of your mouth and go into the air, and then they squeeze you together, and then
That's actually Ermac's fatality, but
doesn't matter.
Close
The point
enough.
is,
Close enough.
the point is,
Some dude does some stuff, and it's
yes.
gross.
And neither of them are Sub-Zero nor Scorpion, which are the ones that I fall back to.
Yeah, I mean, they are the two most iconic characters.
The last one I played was whatever the one was that was on Xbox 360.
It wasn't Mortal Kombat versus DC.
I know. I did play Mortal Kombat versus DC and I hated it. But
you should have. That's an awful game.
Injustice?
But, no, not Injustice. Injustice on the opposite side is actually a good game.
See, so I recently bought that game and it's too hard for me because I'm not good at fighting games.
No,
I'm still play it.
Yeah,
whichever one I played had the chess mode in it.
Chess mode. You're thinking about an appropriate movie.
No.
Which one was that? Not Deception, not 4, not...
It was 5.
Deadly Alliance?
Might have... Was Deadly Alliance on 360?
Armageddon? No, Deadly Alliance was on PS2.
I think it was Armageddon.
Armageddon was the last one before they did the jump.
Well, I'm going to look this up right now.
Well, while we look...
All I know is I played it in a summer school English class. Because my teacher brought it in for us to play at the end of the semester.
I gotta tell you, this game actually looks really good and is probably going to draw me back into fighting games. I'm glad I will never be able to play with any of you fighting games because I would probably lose but especially you, Jordan. I never want to play you ever.
Why not?
Because you follow more than any of us fighting game stuff, so you're probably more into that. Do you have Injustice?
I really am.
Do you have Injustice?
I do have Injustice.
All right, we should do a video for me versus you. We're gonna do a video where we fight each other for 30 minutes, and we'll see where we go from there.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm an unabashed button masher.
No, yeah. I am the guy in Super Smash Bros. Who just does a electric Pikachu lightning bolt the entire time.
I love Soul Calibur. I will say that.
Soul Calibur is a good game.
Oh, yeah. Soul Calibur, I played the heck out of that, too.
And I only play Ivy in those games because Ivy... Well, okay. There's two reasons. One reason
we know
quite obvious.
It's because she has a whip sword.
And not... Yes. There you go. Whip sword. Yep. That's what I was gonna say.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
I believe it was Armageddon. Mortal Kombat Armageddon was on 360.
That was the last one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That was supposed to have all the characters.
I think it did.
It had a lot.
It did. Yeah, I think it did. So yeah. And what's funny about this new one, Mortal Kombat 10, is that Johnny Cage and his family are the main characters. Who would have thought, you know?
No, and that's cool, though. Actually, they're not necessarily the main characters, but they play a huge part in the story. So, okay, in the story of Mortal Kombat, Cody, wait, first, have you played a Mortal Kombat game?
I watched movies when I was like 9. Does that count?
Yeah,
there you go. That's
you'll know the characters for the most part. Yeah, so the basic plot summary for the game is... There are 5 factions: the Lin Kuei, the White Lotus, Black Dragons, and
Brotherhood.
Special Forces. And
Brotherhood. The Brotherhood.
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 Yes, sure. Anyway, so the basic plot.
What's a faction?
It is. The basic plot is after the events of Mortal Kombat 9. One of the characters, Shinnok, has this really super powerful medallion that caused all kinds of turmoil in both Earthrealm and Outer World.
Turmoil.
So after Raiden saved everyone, as much people as he could, he brought the medallion over to Earthrealm, where it's just been there hanging out for years and years. Then something happens, and the medallion gets stolen, which prompts the Special Forces with Cassie Cage and her family, and Jacqueline Briggs and her family, and all the other Special Forces people to go over to Outer World to find out what happened to that medallion. Along the way, they meet the Shaolin monks, where you that's who Liu Kang and Kung Lao were with, but they're both dead. So they meet with the special forces. They also go to Outer Realm to find out what's going on. They meet Kotal Khan, who is now the leader of Outer World, who is the son of Shao Kahn. But he has no idea what's happening with the medallion. And it turns out that Melina, who is a character from all the other Mortal Kombat games, stole the medallion, and she's leading a revolt against Kotal Khan because she wants to be the ruler of Outer World. So everyone is just converging. Like it's a nice interwoven story, and it seems really cool. I just really want to play that story mode.
Well, they amped it up with Injustice. Injustice has a better than usual story mode for a fighting game, which is weird,
Well, see, actually, it started with Mortal Kombat 9. Mortal Kombat 9 had a really great story, which it basically took the stories of Mortal Kombat 1 through 3, blended them all together, made them all make sense, and then added more to the story, which explains what's happening in Mortal Kombat X. It's cool. It's a great if you don't like fighting games, if you just like play the story mode for Mortal Kombat 9, it's really cool on the story level. It's like one of the only fighting games that has a legit story.
Yeah.
And then they kept it going with Injustice, which improved upon all the fighting mechanics and the story elements. And then with Mortal Kombat X, they just went all out because they just keep improving and improving, and it's fantastic.
One of the things about Mortal Kombat is that it started off as just a good fighter. It was nothing exceptional. It was no Street Fighter. It was just, it was good. And then suddenly, over time, without people really realizing it, it became an exceptional fighting game, as with the exception of what's shown now with Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome to see like a fighter that was like obviously meant for like goofiness and for like just the ridiculousness of it, with fatalities and all that stuff. Babalities when you got turned into babies, brutalities and all that stuff, and then suddenly they dialed it back and then really focused in, and then now they just have this really awesome top tier fighting game that has deep mechanics, and you can choose from 3 different fighting styles. Who knew?
Yeah, I just love how much work NetherRealm Studios has put into this game. Like, it's so great. Like, I just love the fact that Mortal Kombat started out as, well, hey, you see Street Fighter, and it's all cartoony and unrealistic. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a fighting game that's gross and bloody. And that's what Mortal Kombat was. And then, like, over time, it gets more and more over the top. Now, at this point, Mortal Kombat, the people who make Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon, the guy who's made Mortal Kombat, he understands what Mortal Kombat is. So the game is purposely completely over the top, especially when it comes to the fatalities.
Well, he's been making Mortal Kombat since he was a child.
Yeah,
he came out of the womb and it started making. I think about made for fatality, and then he started doing it, and then it really got crazy once he went through his pubonic years, pubonic years. And then that's when he got all angsty and aggressive. He read Where the Red Fern Grows, and then that affected him for the rest of his life, and that's where fatalities came from.
Yep, Where the Red Fern Grows, Old Yeller, Marley and Me. You just watched all these movies.
Marley and Me. Specifically Marley and Me. That's how the reboot happened. I'm not even going to pronounce his name. Hey, Scavenger. And Alejandro 2001, which I think I know who that is.
Anyway,
they both literally just said, "Yo, say my name."
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
But so yeah, like, it was just always fun, and like the best part about Mortal Kombat is after you whooped somebody's butt, you could go and do a fatality on them, which it means absolutely nothing. You just kill their character who you already beat. That doesn't, fatalities really do not matter. However, there is a controversy with fatalities in this current iteration of Mortal Kombat, and that's with the easy fatality tokens.
You know who they're taking advantage of? This guy right here. I was never any good at pressing those buttons fast enough, so they figured out a way to get to me, and that's a button where I just go boop, and then suddenly I'm pulling somebody's balls out of his eyeballs.
Well, see, here's the thing about the fatality tokens. Okay, so you can buy 30 easy fatality tokens for 30 fatality tokens for $5, microtransaction, or you can earn easy fatality tokens by doing stuff like in the crypt. The crypt is like it's an extra mode where you do challenges and stuff and unlock whatever things like alternate skins, alternate fatalities, easy fatality tokens, and so on and so forth. So basically, the microtransaction is, hey, you get 30 of these easy fatality tokens for $5. You know, if you don't want to learn how to do the fatalities yourself, just buy this. You can do them easier, but every time you use one, you lose that token. So it's give or take. It's basically
a one-time use.
Yeah, like basically, if you don't want to take the time to learn how to do the fatalities yourself, you have to pay money. You have to pay money for it.
I'm kind of split on this, you know? It's like, for the people who are just so lazy that they don't even want to do that, fine, let them pay, because obviously they're not going to play the game enough to want to. They don't care about the game enough, I'd say, to pay to like really practice and put the effort in to try to pull off those fatalities. And second off, so I've heard the general feeling of like, oh, this is like an insta win. First of all, you've already won the match by the time you're allowed to do the fatality. So there's that. You don't need to do that. Hey, Cleopatra 22, hugs and kisses. So the other thing is like, I just, it's like if they can't put the effort in, then why not? I'm not going to put the effort in, so I might do that because I'm really lazy. And as you all know, I'm really bad at video games.
Yeah.
But, who knows? I forgot. I'm poor. I won't do that. But for the people who do have money, I'm sure, whatever. Let them do what they want,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you don't want to take the time to learn how to do the fatalities, fine. Just go ahead and buy the easy tokens just because. Because, I mean, it has no bearing on whether or not you win a fight. Because when you get to, like you said, when you get to the fatality portion, you already won the fight. You can just punch them in the face and the fight's over no matter what. You already won at that point. Basically, fatality is just to humiliate whoever you're fighting. Like, if you ever watch a Mortal Kombat tournament, most of the time, when they get to the fatality thing, they just punch a dude in the face and that's it. It's just over. So they can just move on. But if somebody like styles on his opponent like all day, then they do a fatality just to show disrespect. It's the funniest thing. But I don't really understand the controversy around the fatality tokens. It doesn't affect the average player.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it's just a thing where it's like, if you want it, go ahead and buy it. If
it's
you don't,
obviously
if you don't, you can earn it. You can earn it yourself. Like, yeah.
And that's the thing. You can earn it in the game too with by playing it. So there you go. Play the game enough. There you go.
But then again, I guess part of the problem is since you have the option to buy these tokens. I don't know if if NetherRealm, maybe they made it a bit harder to grind out whatever currency you need to buy the tokens in game. I don't know if they've done that, if they've made it harder, maybe gave it kind of like a free to play feel to it. I don't know. But usually when there's stuff like this, like microtransactions like this in a game, that sort of thing happens. Like we saw this happen in Resident Evil Revelations 2, where you could buy extra lives if you wanted to, or you can just play the game normally. Like if you're playing it for hours and hours and you run out of lives, well, don't play it. You have to wait till the next day to actually get more lives, or you can just buy some.
So I have a scenario, and you can just tell me your thoughts. This is just a scenario that came to my brain. Yeah. So what if the next Resident Evil goes back to its roots type of horror style where it's slow paced, right? They go back to like having ink ribbons slowly everywhere. What if there's a microtransaction of you just allowing you to buy as many ink ribbons as possible, or you can play it the way that the game is just there and it has a low amount of ink ribbons? So either you're paranoid and you buy these things so you can use them, or you just play the game straight out and just learn to use the game? What do you think of that?
For me personally, I wouldn't ever buy the ink ribbons because I like the sense of tension that came with the original Resident Evil games, where you had to. Okay, I have 3 ink ribbons. I can only save 3 times. I better use these at most optimal opportunity. Otherwise, I don't. Otherwise, I'm screwed. And that I like that. That added to the strategy of playing the game. Now, if you don't like to play that way, if you don't like all of that tension, go ahead and buy the ink ribbons. You know, it really depends on the individual player. Like me personally, I wouldn't buy it because I wouldn't want to, or I don't want to say I wouldn't need to. I probably would need to at some point, but I'm just not going to do it because that's not how I prefer to play the game. For a guy or a girl who's playing the game and they're not good at the game, they have to save at every opportunity, then they're going to have to put out more money just to do that. Otherwise, play it the way the developer wants you to play it by not buying the things.
Well, I guess so. Like in terms of kind of like how the coins are for this fatalities, you think it's like because I can easily see something like this happening. You know, in like say Dark Souls, 3 has something like this where they give you extra bonfires that appear suddenly or something like that. I mean, where does it stop? Where does it go? I mean, for the casual player and the hardcore player, kind of finding this weird ground.
I don't know. I guess in this instance, would you refer to me as a hardcore gamer then? Because I don't see myself that way. I just like to play games, and if there's some sort of challenge such as limited saving, then that's just part of the game, and that I have to work my strategy around that fact.
Yeah, all right. I gotcha.
I mean that's just me, really.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's really weird because now there's more of this weird microtransaction and like early like DLC stuff, kind of like with what's that game with the monsters and the 4 people?
Evolve.
Yeah, kind of like Evolve with them monsters and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and then all them skins and whatnots.
Yeah. There's lots of problems with Evolve, which I don't think we should get into that now.
Yeah, that's a can of worms for sure.
Yeah, it's a humongous can of worms. But anyway, I'm glad to see Mortal Kombat making a comeback. Kind of like how GTA 5 is kind of like the second coming. Mm-hmm. When you look at like, it has the highest concurrent players on Steam, like
it set a new record. Yes. Yeah. It's the second of a non-Valve game.
What is this record?
So Dota and things like that are usually, of course, always beat everything else. But for a non-Valve game, it smashed the record. I believe it's at 300,000 plus concurrent, which is
holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty. It sounds like hotcakes for sure.
Seriously.
And it deserves to, because the one big concern myself and most other PC Master Race players had was GTA 4 was terrible for a port. And that was the big elephant in the room that Rockstar could never really tackle until it just got out there is this going to be a piece of crap too?
Yeah.
Well, luckily,
and thankfully I can report it is not.
See, what happened was it wasn't a big elephant; it had elephantitis on its dick.
Absolutely,
Absolutely. And so it had a huge, grotesquely big dick that satisfied everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, guy and girl
it runs pretty fantastic. There's a few bugs here and there. I mean, that's to be expected. I haven't read anything too crazy.
To cry?
To cry. No, not to cry. But yeah, I mean, I've been getting pretty solid 60F on almost entirely maxed out. And my computer
smooth moves.
My computer is not.
I'm Grand Theft Auto 5 with them 60 frames. Smooth moves.
Yep. And yeah, my computer is not like the greatest either, so that's pretty impressive. So Yeah, it's definitely worth picking up if you're worried about performance. Don't be, because it is the Dickens.
Have you been playing the single player campaign or GTA Online?
I played both.
Yeah,
I played a little bit of single player. Uh, I'm not quite caught up with where I was on PS3 before I quit,
yeah.
but that's been fun. But I did play a little bit of online. My friend and I put up like a little private room, and just the two of us were fucking around and stuff.
Oh
It's
yeah,
pretty
you
cool.
were.
Oh yeah, I made Rufus the pimp. He wears all pink. He has a giant
So-
pink top hat and,
So
and
now
a
that you-
magnificent pink scarf. And then he made like the most disgusting Krakow-looking girl. And we drive around and we shoot bad people and good people.
That sounds wonderful.
It was great because neither one of us discussed what we were gonna make, and then I just showed up as a pimp, and he showed up as a Krakow, and it worked out.
Oh man.
Well, I'm glad
See-
you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
It's
I'm
much.
still.
It's so much fun. Every time I shoot somebody, the ragdoll physics in that game are just so good. The shooting is phenomenal. When you have a mouse to do it, and
Yeah.
like the shooting range in the console version was like a legit challenge because you're using the thumbsticks. It was a fucking joke on PC. I got gold on like everything immediately first try. Like this is nice,
Yeah.
So that driving though, God, they bless their hearts. They did try to make it work on keyboard, but you just can't have engine acceleration on something that literally just has on and off. There's no,
Yeah. That's true.
it's just full throttle. Oh shit, the car's out of control. So I do have my
Hey,
controller
hey,
for
hey.
that.
Yeah.
Rockstar lives their life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me try one more time. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I am the law. There you go.
I'm the law. Whoa, motherfucker. Anyway, so I'm so tempted to buy GTA 5 again. Like either on PS4 or Xbox One, or on PC. I'm just so
alright.
tempted.
I
PC,
already bought it.
do it again.
Twice.
Come on, guys. We all gotta play online together. Come on.
That is true.
You know, I
Bought it twice.
Okay, I definitely need to upgrade my PC before we can. I'll probably get it on PC actually.
I'll tell you
Now that I think
what.
about it.
About giving Rockstar.
I'm gonna buy
120.
the dark
180.
Arkham
Yeah.
Dark Knight or Arkham Knight. I'm gonna buy that, and then I'm gonna buy everything else. Then I'll buy Grand Theft Auto 5 because I don't want that one to
Oh,
trick
yeah.
me like all the other ones.
There'll be sales for
Right.
sure. I mean, it's on.
Oh,
it's
that's
Steam.
definitely
I mean,
sales. Yeah.
I'm just
wait
saying.
for the summer
you know.
sale. They'll probably drop it at least in 10, 15
Oh, like 20
bucks.
cents, right? It'll be
Absolutely,
20 cents.
yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like a titan of a game like that going on sale, it's gonna be a while. So guys, I have to talk.
All right.
So Titan Souls came out this week.
Oh.
Oh, did it?
Yes, it did.
Mm.
Now I beat it once already. It took me 2 hours and 44 minutes to do it. I had died 173 times. But I don't know if I can recommend that game yet. Once you beat the game, you get access to hard mode, YOLO mode, iron mode, that you only have one life, and no rolling mode. So these are just little options you can add to whatever you're doing. So you could turn on hard mode and no roll mode, but you can't turn on all three at once. So you go hard mode, no rolling, or Iron Man, no rolling, but you can't have all three going. Anyway, yeah, the first way through wasn't that bad. Like the bosses, it's interesting. I should explain. Titan Souls is a top-down pixel art game that's kind of like a mix of Shadow of the Colossus and Dark Souls, I guess you could say.
Sure.
So basically, you play as this looks like a child who only has a bow and arrow with one arrow.
Mm.
But it's a special arrow that's imbued with like your soul or some soul of something. Basically, when you shoot your arrow, you have to go and retrieve it, or you can just call it back to yourself via the force or something.
Magic.
Magic, yeah.
Spooky, scary.
And the game doesn't really have like a story that's all detailed out for you. You're just this kid, and you have to fight these titans and take their souls, and they can kill you just in one hit. You'll be dead. So you have to avoid them at all costs, and you generally can kill them in one hit. But usually you have to do this in phases. Like the first boss you fight is this giant jelly boss, so you have to shoot the jelly boss enough times so that
Shoot the jelly boss in the vagina?
no, like you see a giant green blob, and then there's a heart in the middle of it. So you have to keep shooting the part that has the heart in it until the heart isn't covered by jelly anymore. Then you shoot it, dead. That's just the first fight. I'll go over I'll go over the first 4 fights. So that's the first fight. The next fight is this. It's a brain in an ice cube that periodically just it slides around the room. It's trying to kill you. There's 4 panels in the map that once you touch it, there's a flame in the middle that ignites. So basically, what you have to do is you have to get the ice cube to touch a fire panel on the opposite side of you, so you can shoot an arrow through the fire to melt the ice, and then you shoot the brain.
Through the fire and the flames?
Yep, through the fire and flames. Then there is a cube boss where there's an eye on one side, and it just rolls after you, but on squares. So you can see tiles. You can see the tiles. If there's a tile and you're standing on it, it can go there and kill you. So it's just constantly chasing after you and then periodically shoots a beam at you. All you gotta do is wait for it to look at you and shoot an arrow into its eye, and it's dead. The 4th boss is this giant rock golem that just pounds his fists on the ground trying to kill you while covering his... Yep, he pounds you while covering his heart. Once he switches hands, his heart is open. Just shoot the arrow in there, and it's dead. Those are the first 4 bosses. It was not hard to figure it out at all. And then...
How many bosses are there in total?
In total, there's like... I killed 16 or 17. But I think there might be like 20 altogether, but I'm not sure. Because I felt like there's some places I couldn't get to or didn't know how to get to. And I didn't kill those things. So I don't know exactly how many bosses there are. But I'm going to assume that there's maybe at least 18 bosses. I killed 16 of them.
Yeah. Well, did you ever play Journey?
I played Journey, yes.
So that game's 2 hours.
Yes.
And that game cost about $15.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. I don't remember. But Titan Souls is $14.99, and
yes, it is.
Last 2 hours.
Yeah.
What do you think in the comparison of worth buying?
Compared to Journey, there is no comparison because Journey is an experience altogether.
I guess that's what I mean. The experience of the 2 hour game. You know what I mean? Not necessarily putting them both against each other, but just like the idea of a 2 hour game, which is not as episodic like those Telltale games.
Well, I will say, playing Titan Souls, it was really like seeing the bosses. Like some of the bosses are enormous. That's not real.
Enormous, yes. It comes from Dutch language.
Yes, enormous. They're gigantic, ginormous, whatever.
Or
enormous. Humongous, yeah. And then, but they can die in just one hit, and like the music is really good. It has like an epic soundtrack, and it feels just really tense at times. And then once you kill when you kill a boss, you draw your arrow out of them, and their soul pops out and it goes into your body, and it's this giant like super cool thing. You like fly up into the air, the soul goes inside of you, and it's like you kind of explode with power, and then you slowly just fall back to the ground, and that's it. Like it's like this super like really cool moment of gratification when you kill a boss. and then it turns into like such a quiet moment. It's like, the person just falls to the ground. And you just walk out the room. The game is a mix of epic battles and quiet moments, and I don't know. Like I think because I've been playing Bloodborne, I don't get the same sort of satisfaction in killing these bosses as I would in Bloodborne, because in Titan Souls, this is all you do. You're just fighting bosses. It's just nothing but boss fights. And after like the first few, it kind of lost its mojo, really.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right, I see where the comparison, the line is kind of drawn, because you're kind of doing the same thing in Titan Souls over and over again. Yeah, they're different kind of style of bosses, but the thing is, the general gist of it is repeated like 17 times.
Yeah.
Whereas in Journey, like, because it's an emotional experience that is moving forward, like each moment is a new experience that you're immersed in, and whether or not you have a co-op partner, it kind of enhances that. So while Journey has to do something different each time, Titan Souls didn't necessarily have to, but it kind of did.
Well, it feels like Titan Souls misses the entire point of this. From what I've seen of everything, Titan Souls doesn't really have a story per se.
Yeah.
It's more implied story.
Yes, no,
Like,
it's super implied story.
but they're doing it. They're trying so hard to do what, again, Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne do, where they imply a lot of their story and you have to search it out and like figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But they're failing at it because they're not doing the same level of like detail and sending you off in random directions. They're just like,
Okay.
here's a path, go down it, do stuff, you win the game.
Yeah, it's basically it's divided into two hub worlds, basically. So the first one has the first 4 bosses. Then you get into this wider area that there's like 3 different sections. There's an ice section, a fire section, and a forest section. And a castle section. And invariably in the ice section, there's only 2 bosses. Fire section, there is 3 bosses. Castle section, 2 bosses. Forest section, 2 bosses. And then you go up into the actual temple or whatever, where there is, I think, just 2 bosses. I think it's 2 bosses. Yeah, like when you think about it, it really just boils down to one shot, one kill. Especially the last boss. You don't have to. You can kill the boss by shooting your arrow just once. Like you don't have to wear down armor or anything. Just if you time it right, kill the boss, one hit. And yeah, just something about that. Just I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. Does not do it for me.
Doesn't strike your fancy.
Wait, what? Yeah, it doesn't tickle my fancy at all.
It's too bad. Because this seemed like a really good chance for the indie scene to have its like Shadow of the Colossus moment.
Yeah.
Well, not moment, but just like an experience like that. So that would have been great. But I'm sure like there are people that will like it because it has that very simple task of just bosses only. So
yeah,
I could see the appeal in that, and I could see also what's gonna detract from it, the idea of just repeating the same mechanics over again without necessarily changing too much, just watching out for new patterns. And that's what Shadow of the Colossus did so well, is that each new monster, you're doing it again. Each new monster was a whole new level because the monster was a level and it was a whole new puzzle versus just watching patterns. Yeah. So it's kind of tough to predict that when you're making a game. I'd assume you think you're doing what you can, and then eventually it's tough.
Although I think if I beat it on hard mode, I think there might be an extra boss or something. Because if I remember correctly, once you beat the game, it just sets you back into the world where you just roam around, which is why I assumed there might be an extra boss or two that I did not kill. But there's also a giant door that was like in the final boss area. So I'm guessing if you beat on hard mode, you get to open that door as well. But I can't be sure. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a full video on Titan Souls.
Nice.
Probably put it out this Thursday.
That'll be good.
But before we go on to another topic, Cody, I believe you wanted to say something more about GTA.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention probably the best part of the GTA on release hasn't even been the game itself. Like you said, have I been playing online or single player?
Yeah.
I've been playing both of those, but I've also been playing a lot with the director mode. It is way too much fun. Way too much.
Director mode.
You need to get that shit, Sergio. It's built for you, man.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I've seen some hilarious videos out there with, one of the first ones I saw, guy just picked a massively like obese woman running around in police station, running into cops. It's basically look at the game's ragdolls, everyone, and it was pretty funny. There's one where I think it's called like Franklin's Day at the Beach. It's basically Franklin being a complete pervert, walking around like jumping on women, and the guy's got him just doing the most ridiculous faces, like it's just some ridiculous stuff, and there's your typical action scene ones, and look at my cool kill montage. But people have gotten pretty creative with it. It's a lot like a newer, better looking Gary's mod with Oh, and I saw one that was great. It was Jesus the movie. The guy he used the Jesus model, and it was like Jesus ain't taking no shit. And he's walking around, and all the cops are shooting at him, and of course he's invincible. And the guy put the cheat code in for like super punches and stuff. So like the cops would come at him, and he'd explosive punch them, and they'd fly away. It was great. Like coming to a movie theater near you.
So for the record, me and a friend of mine are working on a TV pilot that's similar to that. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm super intrigued now. But yeah,
no one will pick it up for the record. No one's going to pick this up. But anyway.
It could be a web series. It's fine.
And you get like a crazy amount of models. And it's cool the way they give you the models. Like, instead of you just getting handed everything at the start, you have to actually play through the campaign, and then like when you meet a character in the campaign, you unlock them for director mode. And they have a lot of just like random NPCs out in the world that you have to go meet in the same too. Like when I first started playing as Trevor, fuck, I love Trevor so much.
He seems like your type of guy.
I'm just crying. I'm laughing so hard playing through these parts.
He's also the most polarizing.
Yeah. I got him, and I ran over, and there was a guy dressed as Uncle Sam protesting the world. He's like, America's doomed, and I talked to him, and then I unlocked him, so now I can play as Uncle Sam.
Oh, jeez. Really quick, thank you to the Marine Corps and Alejandro02001 for following us on Twitch. Thank you guys for that.
Thanks.
Boom, boom. I think you're like our first two.
Yeah. For listeners of the podcast from iTunes, we record this on Pacific time, which is 12 o'clock to 1 a.m. We start with that because we don't really intend for people to watch this, but for the people who are watching this, it's like 3 a.m. for them on the East Coast or whatever. So, thanks.
Thank you guys for watching. Before we go into the biggest news, well, at least the biggest news to us, let's talk about Guitar Hero and Rock Band coming back.
Okay, let me break it down for you. Guitar Hero's back. Okay. Rock Band's back. Okay. All right, let's move on.
Okay, really quick. Guitar Hero Live was revealed.
Guitar Hero Live looks like the most awkward fucking idea for a Guitar Hero game ever.
Yeah. No. Okay. So basically, Guitar Hero Live is Guitar Hero, but it's entirely first person. It's a first person music game. You are a guitarist in a band, and as you're playing through songs, you're basically in a cover band. As you are playing through these songs, all you see on your screen is the fret highway, and you just see just a crowd of people. Now, it's not
Animated people anymore.
it's not animated people. It's actual real life people. There are a bunch of actors that
Next gen graphics. Woo!
Yeah.
So, if you felt crippling social anxiety before now about playing a plastic guitar in front of your TV, now you can feel even more socially anxious because you're going to be playing in front of a live crowd.
And
So
the
here's
the best part is,
Yeah?
Sergio, go first.
Oh, I was gonna say. So this game is perfect for artists and people who want to create things for the public, because it shows that when when you play the game and you start doing bad, the video of real people will just looking at the camera and screaming, "You suck!" will just show
Exactly.
up.
That's
So,
exactly what I was
you
gonna
know.
say.
Oh
So
man.
it'll be like, "Oh, thank goodness people love my art," and then
Yeah.
someone is just gonna be like, "F you, finger coming out." Well, I could have just given you the middle finger, so I don't know why I pretend to put a finger in front of my hand.
I just
But-
that reminded me. One of my favorite things in Grand Theft Auto is the fact that you get, if you don't have a weapon, and you try and shoot while you're riding in somebody else's car, your guy just holds the finger up everywhere. So we had me and 3 other people all in the car. We were just driving around the city going "fuck you" to everybody. It was so awesome.
That's great.
But with Guitar Hero, real quick, the buttons are different now. It's
Yes,
no
they
longer
are.
just one row. Now it's 2 colors, black and white, and they're in 2 rows. One of
Yep.
them is black, one of them is white. So it's supposed to simulate like holding a chord correctly, even though but it's the arcade style with only buttons.
It
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
like a
so-
small change, but from what I've read on Reddit, it feels like it's completely blown people's fucking minds because everyone's
Yeah.
just like, "No, more buttons! Oh, I can't handle it."
I think this is great. I just wish that there's somehow you could have used your old songs, because with Rock Band, I like how their approach of just keeping it old school and having the ability to use all your old songs and use all your old plastic toys and stuff. Instruments. That's the word I forgot to say.
They're
Plastic
not
instruments.
toys, Sergio.
I know it's not toys, okay? But
They're not toys. They're
These
actually
are
figures.
$200 toys.
They're quite expensive
You
toys.
call them instruments.
I just there's that appeal for Rock Band, because then you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars again for old or new songs. But then again, they're not evolving, so it's like a give and take. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that Guitar Hero is doing something different. They're basically rebooting Guitar Hero, so now it's actually just one guitar. It's a single player game. The better you do, the more the crowd goes, "Yeah, you are awesome," and the more your bandmates are like, "Yeah, man, you're doing a great job." But the more you suck at it, the more the crowd goes, "Man, you suck," and the more your bandmates are like, "Dude, what's wrong with this guy?" And that's nice. I mean, it's interesting that they're doing something different with Guitar Hero, whereas with Rock Band, it's just, hey, it's Rock Band 4. You play Rock Band 1, 2, and 3. Same thing. You have all your songs. You can use the same instruments. It's cool. Whatever. Just play the game that you guys like to play.
Which I don't mind.
I don't mind that at all. I like that. I still have my plastic instruments just in my loft.
Though I might want to turn off the TV while playing Guitar Hero because of the FNV stuff.
But come
I'll
on,
figure it out. I'll guess.
I mean, FMVs. Everyone loves FMVs. It's like going back to Phantasmagoria.
Well, there's the Phantasmagoria, of course. Who doesn't?
That
I watch that every
timeless
day.
classic.
I see. Whenever I go to church, I go up and they give me the Holy Communion, which is the blood and body of Christ, and they put it in my mouth. And right as they put it in my tongue, I say, "Do you remember the game with Dylan was talking about?" And then the priest says, "No, go with peace," and then I leave.
And or I have no mouth and I
He's
must
good.
scream.
Huh?
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Oh, okay.
You guys ever play that one? Anyone? No.
The-
That's fine.
But there,
And Conquer.
I think it's gonna be funny. The FMV. I think it'll be hilarious.
Speaking of blasts from the past, guys, Star Wars.
Eh.
I guess that happened. What's next?
Who
That trailer, though.
Who cares about Star Wars?
So, Star
Got it.
Wars. Okay, so the Star Wars trailer came out. That's cool. Star Wars Battlefront 3 got a trailer as well. This is a gaming podcast, so that's what we're going to talk about.
Yep, not gonna mention the
right.
Star Wars actual trailer at all.
All right, let me just get my whole Star Wars trailer out. It was dope. All right, now let's go to the next one. I like how in the trailer for Battlefront, they basically copied and pasted an Independence Day scene where they're going through the canyon.
Yeah.
All I needed was Will Smith in the X-wing going "Welcome to Earth," even though he doesn't really say Earth. He says Earth. I own the movie. I've seen it a million times.
Yeah. See, my favorite thing about the Battlefront reveal trailer is that how much the internet is divided.
Oh yeah.
by the by this trailer.
It's just the smallest details too. Like when the AT-AT shows up, everyone this huge debate ripped open on Reddit. Where like there was no fucking AT-ATs at the Battle of Earth.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me, Cody. I'm
Where's
talking-
the Ewok?
Where? How is Darth Vader there? This makes no sense.
Cody.
Has Battlefront ever made sense?
Cody. So I don't spend time on the internets and the Reddits. So what you're telling me is that people are mad because someone's taking a creative liberty.
No. This is serious business. This is Star Wars. goddammit.
I blame
No.
J.J. Abrams.
So you're telling me they knew that on the other side of the planet there were no AT-ATs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then there was like one guy who was like, no, at this time, at this point in the movie, at 24 seconds, you can see there's the top of an AT-AT for approximately 40 milliseconds. You're all fucking lying. It was like, holy shit, this is the greatest argument ever.
Guys, I went on Wikipedia and I found this. You can't tell me it didn't happen.
Do you know why you guys are wrong? It's pronounced ats.
Ah.
Oh, guys.
See, when you say that, it just makes me think of Mars Attacks.
But yeah, I'm super excited that Battlefront 3 is a thing and it's happening.
Sergio, what do you want to say? Sergio's leaving.
I quit. Bye, Sergio.
All right, bye,
He
bye,
has
bye,
pants
Sergio.
on!
He
Oh my
does
God,
indeed
yes,
have
yes.
pants on.
He's lied to us all these years. He wears pants. So I know a lot of people are mad that you can't go surface to space.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my god!
Yes! Sergio has an 8-8. 8-8. I don't know why I said it that way. 8-8. This is amazing.
This is the best. This is my favorite moment.
Check this fucking thing out. You see this thing?
Oh, man.
For those of you who are on, listening
Hold
to
on.
iTunes-
This is what I'm naming the podcast. Check this fucking thing out.
All right. First of all, for those of you who don't know, who are listening on iTunes, right? I have an at on my lap right now. I'm talking about a life-size one. All right. I want you to take a look at these tiny little motherfuckers right here. Look at these guys.
What?
They're piloting
They
it,
have
right?
people inside.
They do. All right. Now look at this. What is it? Oh no, people aren't taking a dump. They're piloting on the inside. All right. Oh man. And you want to see this? This is where Luke is supposed to hang off of. You know?
You have a little mini Luke.
We got props, man. We got props.
Mm-hmm. All right. A piece of it just broke off. I don't know where it comes from, so I'm fucked.
It's like,
I
it's
know
dead
that
now.
other people are upset that there's no maps for Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. I don't care.
Well, I mean, like this isn't all of the information we have on the game, right? Aren't they going to announce more stuff later? Maybe.
Theoretically, but
Maybe in
Not really.
maybe-
I mean, it's coming out in November, so the game's pretty much done.
You're right. I mean,
Like,
there's no time.
I'm
for
sure
anything
they'll
else.
have announcements leading up to the game release, but
Yeah.
they already came out and said, like, there's 5 planets. There's an additional one that's going to come out just before Star Wars Episode 7 comes out.
Jakku.
Jakku.
Yeah, so when the game comes out, there's going to be free DLC for Jakku, which is apparently the desert planet that Star Wars Episode 7 takes place on.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. But we have no details if, we're going to have any Episode 7 other characters or anything showing up in the game, at least right now. We probably will get that when the movie hits. So
I just want to say, in respect to the movie, that if the villain does not turn out to be either Revan or a Revan Knight, I call bullshit on his mask.
Well, you have to remember that all that other stuff is wiped out.
No, it's
so
not.
now that it's myths. They're called myths. or
No,
something.
the stuff that came before the original trilogy is still real.
Yep.
No, I mean
They only got rid of
well,
the other stuff.
They only retconned all the stuff that happened after.
Yeah, the expanded universe. All that stuff is.
No, but Revenant stuff is before the
Before.
movies.
So they're saying that's solid then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that
Star Wars: The Old Republic, the game that still currently exists, that's part of the actual
Oh,
canon.
good, because I thought BioWare was just out of luck.
No.
yeah,
Y'all
Okay.
fucked.
BioWare made fanfic the game.
No, it's actually part of canon.
Well, that's cool. That's good. That's good. Oh yeah. So another big thing is that there are no space battles.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. As long as I get to be in my X-wings, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean you can
It's
still
totally coming
fight-
in the expansion. Y'all know that, right? Like they're totally
Definitely.
holding that back.
Definitely coming in
Definitely
expansions.
coming
We're
for
definitely
expansion.
gonna shoot the Death Star in the
I'm actually-
expansions.
yeah. I'm actually glad that they didn't like make it like land to space battles, because that would have been too much.
It would have been a lot.
Yeah, it would have been too much. Too many people spread out, or too little people out of everywhere. Because like, as awesome as that would have been, like just like 30 people spread out over that huge amount of space to take care of.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys feel that the game is just 100% multiplayer? That there's no single player in the game?
No,
I'm
they
fine.
did say you can play against bots. Like they did say there's going to be bots. So there's pseudo single player, which a lot of people were really. That was a make or break for a lot of people on Reddit and stuff. So
That's true. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of wanted some sort of a story mode, but granted, I'm a crazy person that loves stories.
Well,
So.
Yeah.
But the problem with Battlefront and putting a story is going to be all completely fucking random shit, because
Yeah.
Battlefront is
Yeah.
all about random characters meeting each other and killing each other.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's true. But I mean, I would like it to be like, if there was some sort of story mode, it'd be like, hey, you guys, like the Battle of Hoth, you guys got to do these things and ensure that these main characters get to where they're supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
if there's like something like that, like even if it was just like in the background, like this is what's happening, this is why you're fighting.
I think the problem with that mainly is probably just that they're looking at it as a case of they've already done it before. There's been games that have done the fights and everything, so it's like...
Yeah. I'm just glad that they're shedding all the other stuff and just focusing it on making it as focused as possible. So no old stuff. I mean, when I say old stuff, I mean no episode 1, 2, and 3 era Clone Wars stuff, and no space battles. Just focus on battles that take place on planets and that can also be in the air, because that's what happened in the movies. There was never land to space battles in episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is entirely true. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna dig it. I'll probably get it on PC though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
definitely going to be getting it.
Do you think they'll since it's only 40 players, so 20 on 20 battles? Do you think they'll add NPCs just running around being stormtroopers that can't hit anything? Because I would love that. I would love that a lot.
They'll probably add in some NPCs, yeah. I wouldn't doubt seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Just to fill out the field a little bit and make it more lively.
Okay, how will the hero characters work then?
That's a good question. DICE has never done anything like hero characters before, so it'll be interesting to see how they're handled, how the lightsabers are going to be worked, and how you're going to control these guys. Who knows? I don't know.
Because we know for sure that Darth Vader is a hero character in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to say Boba Fett's one.
Yeah, both
Definitely.
has been confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to
There you
remember.
go. The Star Wars 20. What was that? 31, 31, 31, 13?
1313.
13, 13. Solved. Because now there's.
Did you guys
solved?
that
Did you guys-
wound still hurts,
Yeah.
Sergio.
It
That
does.
still hurts.
did you guys hear the rumor that Visceral might be doing something with the remnants of 1313?
They're the guys that do
I
it.
don't know how I feel about that.
No, they're the guys that do it. They did Day of Space. They can do it. I have full faith in them.
I mean, it would be kind of cool. I feel like it'd be kind of cool.
That's
Look.
Space 3, guys. That's
I-
Space
okay.
3.
Okay.
First of all,
I
look.
blame EA for that one.
Yeah, okay. Look, you have to remember Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, okay?
Yes.
Those ones were great games.
Those two
all right?
were really great games.
different games, but both great. If you just take the third person style and focus of those games, then 1313 or whatever it is going to be called from Visceral is going to be great in that sense, because then
Yeah.
it's going to be very focused. Everything's going to be in universe, which I hope they do. That would be so great
Yes.
if you
Yes.
get that HUD stuff also. And yeah, I think they can do it. They have the track record of third-person shooters, horror, whatever. They have the record of just atmospheric stuff. And with
Yes.
1313, that would have been very important because it's going to be in the slums of the Star Wars universe, just further deep down in this city planet. So, I think they could do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Visceral is the best team to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Since EA has the rights to Star Wars anyway, so I feel like Visceral is the best studio to handle it.
Nicely Old Republic 3, BioWare. Get on it.
Right?
I don't know.
Go.
What are you talking about? They have the Old Republic, which is
Don't
nice of
give
the Old Republic
fuck
Part 1,
about
2,
the Old
3, 4.
Republic.
Okay.
That's
Here-
what the
Do
guys
not give
Here-
it.
in an interview.
Here's why BioWare isn't going to work on a Star Wars game. It's because Mass Effect 4 trailer rumors came out, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Shane, you're the one who brought us the Mass Effect 4 rumors. So why don't you tell us about those?
Well, actually, I'd probably defer to Cody because he's the big Mass Effect fan. But mainly, like, the information came from a survey, which is similar to how Dragon Age Inquisition was leaked.
It was almost
Um,
identical to how it was done, and
Yeah.
that one, the leaks for Dragon Age Inquisition were pretty much on the nose. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of, and I think it was verified by two of the posters on NeoGAF that pretty much everyone knows as insiders, and so if they verify it, it's as good as we can get, and as close as we can get to like the word of God that this is real.
Yeah.
So
I think most of the information is pretty much what you kind of expected for the next Mass Effect. Like,
Yeah.
different
it threw me off.
galaxy.
Here's one thing that I like. I kind of like that the makers come back, because it means that they've learned a lesson, and they're gonna make it good. And
Yeah.
it means that the planets are explorable, like for
Yeah.
reals, not
Yeah.
like in Mass Effect 2 or 3, like
Yeah.
like Mass Effect 1, but just better.
Okay, I just want to say I'm gonna excuse myself from this conversation because I've only played Mass Effect 1. So you guys,
No,
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah.
gonna talk. Yeah,
The-
we're just
the
gonna talk
thing,
about. No spoilers.
The hints that they've talked about with the story, it sounds like basically doesn't really give too much of a timetable for how much longer afterwards it is. I mean,
Just that it was
if
separated
it
from
has the
space-time.
Mako, you would think it'd be relatively close, but
To at least the first one.
Okay. So there's one thing that I've been reading that's kind of funny that people are nerd raging about is how the hell does humans get from the Milky Way
that's what I was gonna say
to-
is if it's a relatively short time afterwards, at the end of Mass Effect 3, everything's fucked. So you get from that to somehow, we're not explaining quite yet how,
I got
but
it.
somehow we magically get to another galaxy and we're like running around colonizing it.
Another
And
galaxy.
it sounds like we're not by ourselves too. Like they mentioned Krogan and things like that. So it kind of sounds like an exodus almost. Like everybody, a bunch of people from different races from this, you know. And it's weird to me that they're doing it this way because there was still so much story to be told, especially with the way things ended with Mass Effect 3. I don't really know why we need to go to another galaxy.
Here you go. I got it. All right. So our character is works in a museum. All right. He's he's trying to pitch his idea of trying to do archaeology and things in Egypt, and then Kurt Russell comes along, and he's part of the military. And what? Shut your mouth. And that's how they all go over there.
Yeah. It actually sounded to me a lot like Eve, you know, where we had to get away because everything was bad, and we ended up in this new sector, and
I feel like
and wormholes.
So in the article, they mentioned a thing that what are they called? Remnants?
Which is totally just the frickin' the Protheans, but with a different name.
They're the Protheans just with a different name, who are older than Protheans. Weird. But anyway,
it's Protheans
I feel like
all the way down.
Yeah, and what I feel like is that they're going to find this new technology from the Remnants, and then they're going to have like a bunch of people from races, you know, test it out. And once they test it out, then boom, they're in the Andromeda galaxy, and that's how that all works out. And they meet all these people.
That's my bad.
It's all right.
I see that.
But no, yeah, I don't mind the idea of like people like they find a new technology and then suddenly we're in a new galaxy. Whoa!
Spooky space. You know, I'm
But-
not necessarily against that. The stuff that was sounded a little bit more sketchy to me was, that it's all about like, oh, you're running around and you're exploring new planets and you're colonizing them, and this is totally not something we're ripping off from Dragon Age Inquisition, guys. Like, the whole design of it sounds way less centralized, which can be good, but it feels a bit too freeform. You know, I don't see. I mean, granted, we get very little from this, but I just don't see how there's going to be a compelling story with what we've gotten teased with so far.
I also think it's funny that they're like, you know, in the original Mass Effect trilogy, it was like, all right, we found this technology from the Protheans, who are ancient aliens. And then now in this one, it's like, wait, we found even more ancient aliens who are more ancient.
That's a very good criticism. That's the one a lot of people on Reddit and whatnot have been hitting. It's just like, it's the same shit. What the hell?
Okay, so I wasn't crazy when I said that in the prior conversation, right?
It totally sounds like the same stuff. Mass Effect 1 worked well. Let's do Mass Effect 1 again. But this time, we're going to make it have a baby with Dragon Age Inquisition. Because that game sold like fucking hotcakes.
After this trilogy, there's going to be a new trilogy with people that are even more ancient than the Remnants.
Eventually, they run into the Forerunners, and everything goes to hell.
Well,
eventually, they'll run into Adam and Eve, who are actually Remnants. Who are from... And then that's when Assassin's Creed gets mixed into the game.
Absolutely.
Not only
it's all connected.
More ancient
Illuminati
aliens and stealing shit from Dragon Age Inquisition, but now they're adding raids into it. Like, really? We're gonna add raids?
The raid thing was raids. Like, what
that sounds awesome to me.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm like, so did you guys like play Destiny last year? And you're like, shit, man, I need to add some fucking raids into Mass Effect 4.
Hey, look,
the thing with this stuff, like, it sounds cool, and it does. It's weird though, because it kind of feels like a survey you'd send out before you made the game. Yeah. Like, hey, these ideas sound cool. What do you think? Because it seems so broad. Like you said, we're taking Dragon Age Inquisition. We're taking the first trilogy. We're taking Destiny. But it's like already almost halfway done from what they've talked about. So I don't really know. Like, I'm scared. Right. Are they just gonna go, fuck, we don't know what to do. Let's do everything, you know?
So, you know, unlike a lot of people, I thought that the Mass Effect trilogy was fantastic, and it's ended and started well. And a lot of people don't agree with the ending, but I think it ended well. So I am willing to give my trust into them and just to like do what you want. Inquisition came out, all right, you know. So if it's
Yeah.
gonna be a clone copy of that, fine, whatever. It's gonna be a clone copy, but in space, and I like space better than fantasy, my opinion. All right, I like fantasy, but I tend to like space and future stuff a little bit better.
The thing I will
Um,
say though for Inquisition
Cyberpunk.
is it's really good, but I think when people play Dragon Age, just judging from what I've read so far, people are kind of the Mass Effect subreddit is very mixed on this. Where like Dragon Age Inquisition's way of doing things was very cool, but Mass Effect had a much more tight, linear experience with very strong
Yeah.
story, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what you're expecting with Mass Effect. You're not they never really promoted that as much in the Dragon Age series,
Yeah,
so Inquisition was
yeah,
easier to handle. But this
yeah.
idea of like being extremely open-ended, like Inquisition,
I'm
has a lot of people going, I don't know.
See, I'm sure that there is a super tight story like the previous trilogy, which makes it different than than the Dragon Age. Because you're right, Dragon Age is more open and for interpretation. You know, so I think that's going to be the main difference. Like while it's open, it's more open for like exploration and grinding and all that stuff, but the main story will be a fall through that they will do. Because I don't understand why they would want to move away from that, which was one of the biggest distinctions from Dragon Age and
Well,
Mass Effect.
the thing
You know what I
people are
mean?
worried about is that somebody higher up at EA just said, "Holy shit, this Inquisition system worked. Works so good. Do it again." And even if it doesn't make any fucking sense, and because that's just it
Hey,
feels
It's not
kind of
it's not BioWare's
ham-fisted.
fault. It's not gonna be BioWare's fault. It's gonna
It's all
be
Activision's fault.
the
I'm blaming
executive,
them
the
for it.
Activision. Yeah.
Yep.
As in terms of a main character, we already had Commander Shepard. What kind of main character would you guys want for the
Alien.
new
Commander
Mass
Goat.
Effect?
The
Commander
rumors
Goat,
are that you're
Commander
going to
Sheep.
be able to play anybody, any race. So that's cool. I'm
Okay.
totally going to
Commander
make a giant Krogan and just fucking headbutt everybody.
See,
Make
see, here's the thing.
scenario.
If they're gonna keep that consistent storyline, I don't think they should allow people to pick races. They just got to be one race to keep it through.
Okay,
If they want to
Shane.
if they want to keep the distinction.
Yeah, Shane.
Shane.
Shane, what were you saying?
Yes, go.
I was just saying I'm gonna make what if I can. That's all.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
If I can make Quinari, I'll be happy.
I want to play
I mean,
Geth. Can I play Geth?
I want
yeah,
to play
that's
Geth. That'd be cool.
yeah. I mean, I would love
Does
to play
this
all
unit.
those, but like, it's just that if they want to keep that distinction, that's kind of like where they have to, whether we like it or not. That's got to be part of it, so that they can at least make a story consistent without
No, totally.
sacrificing. I mean,
As much as
I would
wanna
love
play,
to do that though.
Yeah, like totally. I agree with you completely. As much as I want to play all these different races, it's hard enough to make a good, strong character once or even twice for two different sexes, let alone two different sexes for 5 different races,
Mhm.
and actually have the storyline and reflect on that you're a different race and things like that. That
Yeah.
seems like a very tall order. They did do very well with Inquisition. I will admit, but that does seem kind of like a bit of an unnecessary amount of complexity. And I did, what do I get? Call me a racist, but I like being like, fuck yeah, humanity in Mass Effect. It was fun, you know? It was cool being the new guy on the street, walking around, flashing my guns, look at me, we're humanity. It's awesome.
Wearing giant heavy armor suits.
Yeah.
See, I want just okay. This is coming from a dude who's only played Mass Effect 1 and is somewhere
Okay.
in Mass Effect 2. For the main character, I would want it to be somebody who is. I would want like kind of a bumbling person. There's not a commander, a highly decorated officer. I want just to be like a dude who reluctantly has to go on this gigantic space
You want to be
mission.
Joker, basically.
Yes, I want Joker to be the main character
Yeah.
so bad.
Like, oh god, what am I doing here?
Yeah, that would be great. But I think we have reached my favorite section of the show, which is what are you playing? What are you looking forward to? So let's start with the man with the AT-AT in his room. Sergio, what are you playing? What are you looking forward to?
All right, Cleopatra 22XO Hearts and Kisses. I'm Sergio, for the record. But what I've been playing, what I've been playing is I've been playing some Monster Hunter 3. Basically, out of pure jealousy, out of not being able to play Bloodborne. That's the pure hatred for the people who can play Bloodborne. My hatred has no bounds, and which includes buying Dark Souls 2, which I've never played before, which I will be streaming in May. I've never played Dark Souls 2. I probably will have some frustration with the game. I will probably not know what I will be doing, but in that sense, I've been playing a lot. I love Monster Hunter. It's fantastic. I like it. I don't know why I never played this before. I also recommend the new 3DS, even though they pimp you every year out of your money. But either way, I really like it, and I recommend it.
Sounds great.
I'm using a giant gun to pop some caps in these monsters' asses. Kind of like NWA would. Son.
Yeah, straight out of Compton, coming out in August.
I can't wait.
I know, right? Shane, what are you playing? What are you looking forward to?
I'm playing Bloodborne. Surprise.
Now.
I'm actually close to finishing it. On my first, I'm finishing my first playthrough. And then going into NG Plus. Hopefully actually doing the Chalice dungeons. Because I really want to do it. I actually watched somebody doing it the other day, and I was like, these are terrifying. They look awesome, but they're terrifying. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting... I might get a Scholar of the First Sin, or I might get Borderlands Handsome Collection. I'm torn between the two of them at the moment.
Well, I have Scholar of the First Sin, so by deems of dibs, you're not allowed to get that game either.
Dibs.
Dibs. Okay. But I think, and of course I'm looking forward to Batman, all that stuff that's coming out later this year.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, and don't forget the trailer for Batman vs. Superman came out.
Yes, that came out. I liked it. I liked the trailer. I liked it a lot.
I liked it. It was just a day of great trailers. I liked it.
Great trailer.
Yeah.
And you could still tell that they've got they need some fighting to do to make it as good as Marvel. But I like that it's different.
Yes. I like the darker tone that DC is taking with their movies.
I like that they're actually acknowledging that Superman killed a shit ton of people in the last
Right? That's so freaking awesome.
Also, I like Batman's new voice. It's modulated, and it sounds like it was what Christian Bale was trying to do but couldn't do.
Yeah,
I'm sure that everybody, if you watch it after you listen to this, that you pay attention to the beginning, because you hear the voices of a few people, including Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Jesse Eisenberg,
and
Michael Irons,
Macaulay Culkin.
Jeremy Irons comes
Irons
in the part with.
Don't know why I said Michael.
Serge Tankian from System of a Down.
I was thinking Michael Caine. Anyway, Cody, what are you playing? What are you looking forward to?
Still playing Guild Wars 2. That game
has
my soul. I've thrown $50 at that game in the last month.
Because you a sucker.
Got my soul, man. They put out new hair. Okay, I had to buy hair kits.
Is your pimp? You are its whore.
Pretty much. They put out a badass new outfits. I had to buy that. They put out new hairs. I had to buy that. It's this game, man. And it's like,
Got you
it's
for the
supposed to
short
be,
hairs.
you don't have to pay anything after it comes out. No. No, it takes all your money. And now I'm looking at spending another $20
Okay.
because they put a discount at like all, because the way they do like the story for like post-release stuff is they do it in seasons. And the first season you can't buy because developer reasons, but everything
Yeah.
for the second season you can buy for like 200 gems a piece, which is like I think like $2 or $3 roughly. And now that it's the end of the season, they've just released a pack for all of it for like a discounted price. And now I'm like, that's another $20, you sons of bitches! God damn it! No. And then the expansion's gonna come out in a couple of months, and it's like, this is more expensive than a sub game.
So besides the expansions, what are you buying? Like, why is it taking $50 of your money?
Oh, it
besides
doesn't.
the
It's not. It's all totally optional. I bought.
Oh, okay.
I bought a sexy outfit. I bought a badass armor. I bought 5 total makeover kits so I could change the way my characters look and give them like neon blue hair and shit because I like to do that.
You could just play Final Fantasy X too. It's the same thing.
I bought some more character slots because they only give you 5, and then it's $10 for another character slot. I bought an extra bag slot because I thought it unlocked it for all of your characters, but it's only per character, so that was a waste of like $3.
See, I thought I had a problem when I decided on a whim to buy Zelda, the mask one, whatever that was.
Majora's Mask.
Majora's
These,
Mask.
these are like the ramblings of a crazy person.
Yeah.
I bought some hair dyes for my character so I can change
Dude,
it up here.
no, like, dude, I showed you guys. I showed you that picture of that fucking Char. Okay, that hair is amazing.
I'd fuck me. Oh,
Dude.
He tucks his dick between his legs, and
Yeah.
then he looks himself in the mirror, and with a skin suit made out of his dead other characters.
Absolutely, my characters are hot,
Oh,
right?
man.
Fuck you
Oh my
guys.
god.
Rule 34.
Jordan,
somebody
what
needs
have
to
you
make
been
some
playing?
stuff. And then of course Grand Theft Auto. I've been doing that.
Okay,
That
So-
game.
All right.
this
That
is
game
scary,
happened.
guys.
It's a thing. Some people play. I don't know.
You know.
I don't know.
It's a little popular. I don't know. It sets. I heard it set a
only sold
record.
like a million something copies in the
Yeah.
first day.
Anyway, so that leaves me. What am I playing? What I'm looking forward to. I am playing Bloodborne, of course. I, like Shane, am getting close to the end of that game. My first playthrough, of course. I'm still deciding if I want to go New Game Plus and into the Chalice Dungeons. I want to do the Chalice Dungeons, but I'm not sure if I want to do New Game Plus because there's a lot of other games that I have to play. I'm going to be playing Titan Souls Hard Mode and putting out a video for that on Thursday. So Pixelclix presents Titan Souls on Thursday.
Oh yeah, my Alan Wake shows are still going on. Tuesdays
they
and
are.
Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's see. Wednesday, I'll be putting out Ori and the Blind Forest #4. What else am I playing? I'm going to start playing either Wolfenstein or Metro. I kind of want to do Metro 2033. So looking forward to that. That's what I've been playing. Yeah, sorry. Next week, though, I'm looking forward to finally getting my hands on Shovel Knight for PS4. So I'm so jazzed for that. I can't wait to play it. Oh, man. I wanted to get it back when it was on 3DS, but I don't have a 3DS. So I'm waiting for the PS4 version. So I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. I'm going to love it. But I believe that is everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you especially to everyone that's watching right now. Sergio, can you name any of them off right now?
Cleopatra 22 Hugs and Kisses. I say Hugs and Kisses, but really it's just XO. It's Cleopatra 220 XO. Anyway, where you guys can find us all at our Twitters and stuff. I am at Yes Sergio on Twitter, and also you can find me on Facebook with Sergio Lopez. I have a fan page with dumb stuff on it. Anyone else?
You can find Shane at Cartoonic21.
Yeah. Yep.
I am at Jordan is a bear. Cody is at.
I don't Twitter because that's too mainstream.
He's
so.
at Dick Slap 21.
There's
Yeah.
that one. The show is at PixelClicksPod, where we tweet random things about video games, and you get to see today's shirt in picture form. You can find us on Facebook. Just search PixelClicks Podcast. On YouTube, PixelClicks Podcast. On Twitch, PixelClicks Podcast. Gmail, PixelClicks Podcast at gmail.com. PixelClicks Podcast at gmail.com. Do
Send us
all
your
those
questions.
things.
Mhm.
Send us questions. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Do all of those social things that we enjoy, because we enjoy all of you, and we enjoy doing this show.
We want you all to reach out and touch us, please.
Yes.
Online.
Touch us with your electronic fingers.
That got weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
That did get very weird.
It was really all my fault, guys.
We're
always
not good
Sergio's
at
fault.
ending the show, so
We'll see ya.
we'll see you guys
On
later.
that note,
Bye.
later.
Bye.